Welcome back, Cat 5 class. We're going to go over how to create an isometric view in AutoCAD. Now, it's not covered in this course. We used to cover it over 10 years ago in a more advanced AutoCAD class, but that class was replaced with Inventor. So I know some of you do want to learn how to create an isometric view in 2D. Right, so I'm going to go over it, and I will provide an extra credit assignment for this topic for those of you that want to practice isometric views or want the extra credit. Okay, so anytime you want to create an isometric view, you should start with the box. I want you to notice that all the lines are either vertical on the box or they're at 30 degrees with respect to the horizontal. So if we were to draw a horizontal line, this is 30 degrees. Same thing here. Draw a horizontal line, 30 degrees. And so on, 30 degrees from the horizontal. Same thing with this one, 30 degrees from the horizontal. Okay, so, and this is something that we covered at the very beginning when we were hand sketching isometric views, but now we're going to do it in AutoCAD. So always start with the box. Take a look at your 3 views, your dimensions, and then try to recreate it. Try and recreate the object inside the box. So we start with the construction lines for the box. We definitely want the height, the length, and the depth to create our box. And then we start filling in the details or the features from our views into the isometric view until you complete it. Once you're done, you are supposed to either delete the box or turn off the construction lines. All right, so we're going to start with something very easy. We're going to go back to Chapter 3, Problem 3-13. This should look familiar. Our first AutoCAD assignment. So for an extra credit of 10 points per problem. So there's a bunch of problems here that you can go over for extra credit on isometric views. Okay, so I'm going to create, for 10 points, I'll create this isometric view starting with the box. So it has a length of 2, height of 1.5, and a depth of 1.5. Okay, so I already have problem 3-13 opened. All right, so I'm going to go over to the construction layer. And turn it on. There it is. Okay, so let's say I'm ready to create our isometric view. If you want, you can create it here. You can create it out here in space and then move it later. Again, it's like moving furniture around. It depends on the size of your sheet size, right? Depends on the size if you're using an A, B, C, or D, or E, etc. Try and place it somewhere where there's plenty of room and it looks evenly spaced with respect to the other views. All right, so let's say we're ready to start. So we're going to create our box, but we need to change the mode. If you go over here to the grid icon and right-click settings, if you don't see this icon, you can always go to the very end, click and turn on the grid icon. Okay, so I'm going to right-click on that grid icon. That'll give me the grid settings, then click on it. Notice currently we are set at rectangular snap. We are in the snap in grid tab, and we are set at rectangular snap. I'm going to change it over to isometric snap. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and click on that option, and you're going to see how the cursor is going to change. I'm going to hit OK, and you see the cursor has changed. All right, so let's start by creating a vertical line. Okay, 1.5. So I am in the construction layer. Click on line command. And I'll just randomly start anywhere out here in space. So I'm going to click. Now I want to go vertical, but it's not allowing me to. It's either going towards the left, towards the right. So in order to be able to go vertically, I need to hit F5 on the keyboard. So if you go to your keyboard and click on the F5 key, so we're going to go with F5, That'll allow us to go vertical. Okay, so I'm going to hit F5 and look at the cursors. I hit F5. Notice now I can go vertical. You can hit F5 again. And now I can go left and vertical. If I hit F5 again, I can only go left or right. If I hit F5 again, I can go vertical or towards the right. Okay, so let's go vertical. 1.5, 1.5, enter. And we have a depth of 1.5. Okay, so 1.5 again. And enter. I do want you to notice that I have ortho on. Okay, so I do have ortho, so it's ortho with respect to the cursor. Okay, so I'm going to go down 1.5 again, 1.5, that's the height. Enter. And let's go ahead and close this rectangular box. Click. Okay, so now I want to go left. Okay, so let me hit F5 on the keyboard. Hit F5. See, now I can go left or up. Okay, so we know it. We have a length of 2. Enter. And we know we have a height of 1.5. Enter. Let's go ahead and close this side and click. All right, so let me hit escape to exit or right click enter or hit enter on the keyboard. So we're almost there. We need to finish off the top. Okay, so let me use the line command again, line. I'll start at this upper left vertex, click. I'm trying to go right. It only allows me to go left or up. So let me hit F5. Okay, there it is. And we know we have a depth of 1.5. Enter, and then we can close this off, and it looks right. It looks right. We were able to create our box. Okay, and right click enter to exit. Okay, so there's our box. Now if we want, we can go ahead and draw what would be the hidden lines. But since we're using them as construction, I'll just keep them as regular construction lines. So I'm going to go ahead and draw the backside edges that we cannot see. All right, so let's go back, go to line command. Okay, so I'll start from this corner, click, and I'm going to go in 1.5, that's the depth, 1.5, enter. Trying to go up. Actually, even though we're not supposed to be able to go up, it's allowing me to snap upward, so we can do that. Or I can just go over here to close this one off, to this vertex, click, right click enter. Okay, so let's hit line command again, line command. Go from this vertex and go straight up. Let me hit F5. There it is. I hit F5 on the keyboard. Now it allows me to go vertical. Click. And right click enter or hit escape. Okay, so these are actually hidden lines. Let me go ahead and go here to properties. And I'll switch them over to hidden. Let me zoom in. Yeah, so now I can see that these are hidden lines, right? You have to really zoom in, roll the wheel. Okay, so let's go ahead and start drawing our isometric view. Okay, so we're going to draw our isometric view. Let's start with the top here. So we're going to go 0.5 over 1.5, 0.5. So we're going to draw this using the white object visible layer. Okay, so let's go ahead and draw this portion of it. Okay, so we'll go over to the visible white object layer. Okay, so go to line command. And I'll start from this point, this vertex, click. I'm trying to go right, but it's not allowing me. So let me hit F5 on the keyboard. There it is. And we're going to go 0.5. Again, make sure you have ortho on. Okay, so type in 0.5, enter. Okay, so now I'm trying to go across. Let me hit F5 again. Okay, and we know we have to go 1.5, 1.5, that's the depth. Enter, there it is. And now we can go ahead and create our rectangle at the top, just clicking on the vertices. And there it is. Right click, enter. Okay, so we have the top. Now let's go ahead and start drawing the side here. Okay, so let's draw this line. Okay, so we'll go 1.5. And then this line here, that's 1. We know it's 1 because it's 1 plus half totals 2. Okay, so it's just 2 minus half an inch will give us 1. Okay, so we'll go 1, and then we'll go up 0.5, same dimension as this one. Okay, so 1.5, and then we'll go ahead and close this off. All right. Okay, so line command. Okay, so from this point, this vertex will go straight down. Let me hit F5. There it is, F5. Go down, click. Trying to go across. Let me hit F5 again. There it is. We're going to go 1 inch, enter. And then we're going to go up 0.5, half an inch, enter. Okay, now we're trying to line up with this vertex here. I'm trying to line it up. It's not allowing me to. Well, we know it's going to be 0.5. It's just 1 minus 0.5. So it's 0.5. So I'm going to type in 0.5. Enter. And you can see it lines up with this vertex. Okay, good. And right click, enter. Okay, so we're starting to see the object. Okay, we're starting to see it. Okay, let's go back. All right, so now let's go ahead and draw this line, this one. Okay, so from this vertex, we'll go in 1.5. That's the depth, 1.5, and then close it off. And then from here, we'll go across till we hit the line. Okay, line command. Okay, so from this vertex here, we're going to go across. So let me hit F5. We know the depth is 1.5. 1.5, enter. And I'm trying to go straight up. Let me hit F5. And there it is. Click. And right click, enter. Okay, so far so good. There it is. Now I want to go across. Well, that's going to be a little tough, but we know we have a height of 0.5. So let me start by going from this vertex on our yellow box, go up half an inch. So 0.5 up, and then we'll close it off. We'll connect to our vertex here, I should say. All right, so here we go. Line command. Okay, so from this corner here, this vertex, go up 0.5. Enter. And let me hit F5 and connect to the vertex. There it is. Right click, enter. Okay, we're almost there. Let's go ahead and draw this portion. All right, so we're going to go 1.5, right? 1.5. So what we can do is from this corner go across, draw our object line, go up half, then close it off. Okay, so line command. This vertex goes straight up, 0.5, enter, and let me hit F5. There it is, hit the vertex and right click, enter. Okay, let me go ahead and draw this line to close that side off. Line command. We can always hit spacebar to repeat the same command, which is in this case line. Okay, right click, enter. We're almost there. Okay, so now let's draw this portion. Okay, so we're going to go 0.5. So there it is, 0.5. And then 0.5 up, right? 0.5 up. So 0.5, 0.5, and 0.5. We'll draw that square. Okay, so line command. So from this vertex, go 0.5, enter. Now we're going to go vertically. So let's hit F5. Okay, so type in 0.5, enter, and then close it off. Okay, and hit enter or right click enter or hit escape to exit. So we're almost there. All we need to do now is draw this pocket here. Okay, so that should have measurements of 0.5. Let's verify this. Yep. So 0.5, 0.5. Okay, so this is a square. Okay, so 0.5. Okay, so let's go ahead and draw that. Okay, so line command from this corner, go 0.5, 0.5, enter, and I'm trying to go in the other direction. It's not allowing me to, so let's hit F5. Okay, there it is. So 0.5 again, enter, and let's hit F5 again. Now we can close it off, click, and right click enter. There it is, and all we need to do is draw the object line here. Okay, so it's 0.5 and 0.5, and we'll be done. Line command, click, type in 0.5, enter. Then we're going to go straight up. Let me hit F5. And there it is, and right click enter, and we have our object. Okay, so let me turn off the construction layer, and there it is. So there's our isometric view. Now if for some reason this isometric view is way too large for your drawing, you can always scale it down. You can scale it down to half size or quarter size. Okay, so if you were trying to fit this inside your paper, your sheet size, A size, B size, etc., it's very common to scale down the isometric view just so you can fit it in your drawing. The three views, you want to keep them with the same scale. If it's 1-to-1 scale, you want all three to have the same scale. But the isometric view is the exception. You can scale it down just to make it fit. It's considered a reference view just to help the inspector or machinist visualize the part. All right, so we're going to go ahead and scale this down. You don't have to do this part. So I'm going to go ahead and window capture all the parts or all the geometry for the isometric view and go to scale and pick any corner. And we can scale it. Okay, so I'm going to type in half, 0.5. I don't know if it's going to mess me up because I'm in ISO mode, and enter. Okay, there it is. And we can go ahead and move it now. So I'm going to go ahead and insert and lasso the part, click move, grab it from any corner. And let me turn off object snap. Turn off object snap. As you can see, my mistake, ortho mode. Ortho mode is off. So now I can go ahead and place it. As long as there's room, it doesn't look crowded, that's a good spot for it there. Okay. All right, so I'm going to create a second video for, let's do problem 317, or let's do 319, a little bit more difficult. So see you in the next video for problem 3-19. Again, this is extra credit, 10 points each. You can do as many as you want from chapter 3. End of video.